guest this week is the best-selling author of Healing the Healthy Mind. He is an honorary member of the Unconcerned Altruists of Beverly Hills, and he is a founding member of the Institute of Alternative Quackery. Please welcome Dr. Chipak Dopra.
Thank you. I'm very proud of all my achievements, but I must maintain an appearance of modesty and wisdom, consistent with my persona, which includes these diamond-studded designer eyeglasses, carefully crafted to give me an aura of success and superior knowledge.
Your healing therapy is explained in detail in your book, but can you tell us in simple terms the essence of it?
In simple terms, it is based on the synchronistic emotional coincidence of quantum non-locality, correlated to a mechanistic approach of a fundamental level of creativistic manifestation, which is symbolic of the discontinuity from the embryonic genesis of awareness.
So your methodology lies somewhere between Snuff Bumble and Floppadoodle.
More precisely, it is the expedient biological phenomenon of pseudo-creativism at a fundamental level in the proliferation of uncertainty, which is purely subjective.
So your therapy's subjective.
I use the word subjective to release myself from having to make sense and prove anything.
So some of your critics claim that you intentionally confuse your audience.
If people are confused, they should buy my book. This book will not confuse you, as long as you don't read it.
What simple advice can you give your audience?
It is best to wear flannel underwear, as long as the eastern wind lasts.
Thank you, Dr. Dopra. Our guest next week will be Sean Hannity, who will tell us why he likes to wear his hair like a girl, and Tucker Carlson's wife. And she will tell us why her husband calls women extremely primitive. Right now, dozens of industry workers are on strike. They're calling out management for bad bargaining practices. Naomi is covering the scene live at the industry headquarters. Naomi. Behind me are a group of workers, and they are accusing the industry of fair labor practices. Here's what a worker told me earlier today.
We are demanding that the industry offer us longer work hours and a 10% pay cut, along with a reduction in health benefits.
I spoke earlier with the industry representative who responded to the protesters.
Look, we simply can't afford a reduction in wages at this point. The industry is making record profits, and we have no choice but to give employees a 10% pay raise. Better health benefits as well.
What is your ultimate goal for this strike?
We want the same working conditions that existed 100 years ago, when the industry had everything and the workers had nothing. It's the only way that we can make America great again.
Other workers in other locations are expected to be picketing today. Now let's check the weather with Wendy. Today, we'll see a return in cloudiness in various areas between here and somewhere else. Temperatures are likely to rise or fall in various regions, while a zone of deception expands from Florida to Ted Cruz's swimming pool, creating an area of hot air and smoke screens. In earlier hours, or sometime sooner or earlier, unpredictable winds will rise in the Mar-a-Lago regions and blow in irrational bursts, creating a zone of dangerous instability and irreversible cataclysmic disasters in all regions except Donald Trump's golf courses. We'll have another update when everything changes or nothing remains the same. We'll be right back after this important message. Me singing hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. In Washington, a special committee met with the Federal Department of Transportation to discuss the addition of sound to electric vehicles as a safety precaution. A selection of sounds were submitted to a panel of volunteers for evaluation. Africa yesterday. Presidential hopefuls Donald Jr. and Ivanka Trump were in Addis Ababa to address the Grand Council of African Nations. We'll be back with more news later, or when I feel like it.
We caught an enemy and put him in a degrading position to destroy his spirit. Now it's time for the interrogation ordeal to begin. What were you doing snooping in our mailbox?
I'm the mailman.
Why?
Why not?
That's not an answer! Who are you?
I'm Mr. Hyman's new assistant. He wants to know if you need any help with your video.
We need someone with sharp tools to make this guy talk.
Sugar Bun? I mean, Mr. Hyman? Would you be so kind as to send over someone with those things that they use to torment prisoners? He's sending in Brutus.
Okay, where's the droop? What's the matter, Heister? Yakka box is frozen?
Get to work! What's that?
Champagne. It's gonna tickle his uvula till he begs for mercy. Got something else for you, Heister. Salmon caviar. It'll ooze into your trap till its flavor burns through your snot hole. Tough guy, eh?
Your hocus pocus is not working. Make him squirm.
I got just a thing. Lobster cooked in Chateau Lafitte wine sauce and sprinkled with flakes of white truffles.
Forget the food stuff. What else have you got?
Kept this one for last. It ain't flaps or he cocks.
Get going!
Better cover your Zigglers, guys. This thing's lethal.
Did he go stiff?
Nah, he just keeled over.
You, revive him and make him talk.
Me? But I'll run the risk of seeming inquisitive.
Do whatever you did to get this job.
I'll try. Do as I say, you pampered sybarite, or I will turn you into a lizard in a hideous dress.
What did you do with our guard dogs?
Nothing. They saw me and ran.
What do you mean, ran?
They disappeared.
Disappeared where?
Into thin air.
Go find them.
Find him where?
He just told us, in thin air.
Where's that?
Where's that?
It's next to Willie's bar.
How do we get there?
You know Sissy's nail salon?
No!
It's across the street. When you get there, ask for direction.
Okay, guys, let's go.
Hank Pettyway of Braggville, Texas, is the inventor of the Pettyway automatic garage door. Mr. Pettyway will use his motorcycle to demonstrate the remarkable functionality of his invention. So impressed was the mayor of Braggville that he installed Mr. Pettyway's garage door in his beautiful mansion and allowed his wife to use it for the first time. Delighted by the results, Mr. Mayor offered a free Pettyway garage door to all Braggville residents. Meet the Chosen One machine. This ingenious invention presses and molds an unlimited supply of Donald Trump's portraits. The Chosen One machine also manufactures the Ivanka cooling hat. Powered by a hidden gasoline engine, this fashionable headwear must be worn near an open window. This model comes with a visor, specifically designed for women who wish to look silly, while this extravagant model will make you take your clothes off and spin for no reason. And the contest is on for Hat of the Year award, presented by Ms. Lovelace Gornick, who decided to present the award in the nude. She was quickly replaced by Ms. Ivanka herself to present this magnificent trophy. The winner was invited to join Miss Ivanka and stare at her fabulous dress for 3 minutes.
I am here. Stand up, everyone.
Your Majesty, the Tsar of Russia's on the telephone.
You idiot. The telephone hasn't been invented yet.
Yes, but he doesn't know that.
What does he want?
I'm afraid he's quite ill, Your Majesty.
Is he gonna die?
Yes, unless his illness gets worse.
Anything else?
No, Your Majesty. How about some entertainment?
Is there a funeral somewhere?
No. Unless we kill someone.
We can't keep on depleting the lower class. Bring me a woman or something. What's wrong with you, corny flax? You look awful.
I feel great, Your Majesty. I always look awful when I feel great.
Are you a Jew, corny flax?
I am, Your Majesty, as well as a Christian and a Muslim. So when I die, I'll go to 3 heavens. Are you sick, Your Majesty?
I wish I were. I'd feel better.
Would you like me to play the bagpipes for you?
I thought your neighbors got together to buy your freaking bagpipes.
It was my bugle. They wanted to bury it for some unknown reason.
And who are you?
You must have heard of me, Your Majesty. I'm completely unknown.
Come here. Have I seen you somewhere?
I don't think so. I've never been there.
Come to think of it, neither have I.
I've got great news, darling. Guess what it is?
You invented the bicycle.
No, I found myself a new lover.
Jesus, another Frenchman?
He must be. He sounds like a Turk speaking Chinese. Apparently he likes me.
How do you know?
He said, apparently I like you.
Why don't you go for a long walk on a short pier?
I'd rather squander your money on pretty dresses before an angry mob ransacks the palace.
You make me sick.
Poor darling. Let me take your temperature.
The last time you took it, you never returned it. What did you do with it?
I painted it yellow and fed it to the cats.
Go away, you stupid cow.
Be nice, darling. Don't call that man a stupid cow. Well, I'm off to poison a duchess.
That's nasty.
I know, but I have an excuse. I found her husband.
Close the door. It's cold outside.
I closed the door, but it's still cold outside.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
What are you doing?
I'm hiding something behind my back. What is it?
I don't know.
I'll give you a hint. There are 10 of them, and they're attached to my hands.
Toothless rodents.
No.
Hydrophobic Mongolians.
No. You think you know everything, Cornyflax, but you're just as ignorant as you and me.
I can always be a film critic.
What a sensible crowd. I'll throw them some paper towels.
He's shouting at you, Your Majesty.
Have them deported.
But they're all citizens.
Then shoot them in the legs.
To avoid confusion with real people, the remainder of the film has been dubbed in numerals with Latin subtitles.
63, 9, 21, 13, 5, and 73.
1, 4, 73, 97.
44, 29, 6, and 93.
Is there a giant ape living in the American Northwest? Dozens of people say they've seen it. It is here, one of the least explored parts of North America, the Pacific Northwest, that the nearsighted club of East Lompoc will conduct its expedition to find Bigfoot under the leadership of Professor Martha Plumhoff.
This way, everyone!
Professor Plumhoff is an avid camper who knows how to spot subtle signs of activity in nature.
Onward!
She will lead her team on the trail of Bigfoot. She leads her fellow companions through the dense forest, hoping for a sight of the elusive creature. When Professor Plumhoff finds any sign that might have belonged to the creature, she carefully analyzes it.
Amazing! Look! Amazing! Everything looks bigger!
Professor Plumhoff senses that some creature might be near and sets up her equipment to track it down. And to attract the creature, Professor Plumhoff resorts to a technique she developed in the tropical jungle to attract penguins.
Today, we're in East Lompoc, California, to meet our Citizen of the Week. East Lompoc is located west of South Lompoc. It is in this quiet neighborhood that we found Jupiter Twig, our Citizen of the Week. Mr. Twig is a retired electrical engineer, a member of the Bird Watchers of East Lompoc, a flautist with the Grand Minimalist Symphony of Central Lompoc, and a board member of the Association for the Protection of Municipal Properties.
I hereby demand that a security guard be posted at the entrance of City Hall to prevent the theft of City Hall or its entrance.
Mr. Twig is also the inventor of the Petroblaster Baldromatic Boot.
This perambulating implement is made of monoplasmic cataplectron, which is a fusion of conglobulated digloptic polychromium. The power supply is a deceptive ego center of pseudo-opulence supported by a peripheral faction of self-serving turbo cringers. The engine is a ballodrome of incidence coincidental supported by a barometric gesture to increase global warming through a flow of petropharmic dribble. It's now ready for testing. To avoid derivative deflotracting, I added this endomorphic isolator that connects the witch hunt diffuser to the impeached corniflaxter. A retrograde of obtuse tardimentals of balsamium sends a signal of dull frequency to a pack of narrow-head gullibles to cause 11 bankruptcies between a polymetric balziglot and an orbicular drivel blaster, which is held together with a screw.
My name is Captain Schmerzenkrantz. Sure, I could have helped that woman and flown after the thief, but thing is, my power scares people. They would have just freaked out, turned against me. So it's better if I remain anonymous. Let people deal with their own problems. I mean, it's not like anyone really cares.
Look up in the sky!
It's a bird!
It's a plane!
It's a balladromic funambulist!
My name is Jesus. I could have performed a miracle on that man to make him see again, but people would have said I paid him to pretend that I healed him, and they call me a fraud and turn against me. And if I tell them I'm Jesus Christ, they won't believe me anyway, because I look nothing like the creepy paintings of me, and they do all sorts of nasty things to me. So I just let mortals deal with their own problems. They're going to keep killing each other anyway, and there's not a frickin' thing I could do about it.
Hey, what kind of miracles can you perform?
I can make Tucker Carlson sound intelligent.
How about peace on earth?
That'd be a lot easier.
What was that? It was Jesus! Jesus sighting!
Then Jesus said to the rich young man, "It's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to go to heaven."
What was that?
It's Jupiter Twig! A Jupiter Twig sighting! A resident of Colma, California aims to be the first dead man to reach the top of Mount Everest. He will be guided by 300 Sherpas in his attempt to reach the top of the world. Meanwhile, Jupiter Twig of East Lompoc plans to bring a stepladder to the top of Mount Everest and stand 3 feet higher than anyone else. A spokesperson for Ivanka Trump announced that Miss Trump has been diagnosed with hypermelanosis. Dr. Von Zetwitz is here to explain.
Well, hypermelanosis occurs when the gene that controls the pigment of our skin mutates and changes the color of the skin. I met with Miss Ivanka earlier today to discuss her condition. Can you tell us how hypermelanosis has affected your life?
It's horrible. People don't recognize me. When I go shopping, security guards follow me like I'm a thief. I can't drive my Bentley a mile before a police officer pulls me over. Waiters ignore me. I am banned from exclusive clubs. And my friends pretend like they don't know me. How can anyone live like this? Yes? I can't believe it! They just revoked a membership for a country club that I own! Donald Jr. and Eric Trump have issued a statement to their donors, assuring them that the Fleece the Gullible campaign will not be affected. We have more news, but I'm tired and I want to go to bed. So tune in to another station or get a life. Good night.